We have the Earth Magic Oracle cards, 48 card deck by Stephen Farmer. I found this through, I think her name is Jen. I'll put a link down there. I think her channel is the Psychic Emergency Room. She's been doing like free yes/no questions, I think. And yeah, I liked enjoyed the vibe in the room, and she was using these cards. Okay. Cool, kind of a cool back here. I like the colors. So here's the table of contents here, and there are a few spreads, and I liked this one.
One, two, three, four.
So, card 1 represents the issue. What is our issue? Movement. The river. I like that image. The softened light from the sun falls upon this meandering river, the sparkles reflecting the gentle movement taking place in the river's body. She moves easily around the curves and rocks, sometimes gently as portrayed in this card, and sometimes quite rapidly and intensely. Still, the river's movement will always eventually land her in the bosom of great grandmother ocean. Some of her water will evaporate along the way to feed the waters of the sky, just as it takes place in any other bodies of water, and bless the land and the seas with replenishment in a perfectly natural cycle that helps the planet sustain itself. Water is our lifeblood, a nutrient more essential than food. The flow of water throughout our own bodies serves as a metaphor of how life itself flows through us and expresses as us. Fighting or blocking the flow of your life force can lead you to feeling spiritually void and disconnected from source, just like the metaphor of the river. It does not work to force or fight this compelling movement. When you simply pay attention and observe the flow, it becomes easier to navigate your experiences and see what lies ahead, or at least get a sense of what is to come by the ever-changing geography that unfolds as you cruise along. Your resistance is hampering your ability to make a choice in this matter. Surrender to the movement of life. Be grateful, and you will see the signs along the shore and in the river itself that offer you clues about what direction your egoless self is to be making. Go with the flow is more than a trite aphorism here. It is essential that you do so now. Breathe, relax, and you will know. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna, I'll just go ahead and go through each one and then come back. Okay. Card 2, the subconscious influence of which we are unaware. Okay. Rebirth, spring equinox. The spring equinox, also called the vernal equinox, occurs on March 20 or 21st of the northern hemisphere and September 20th or 21st in the southern hemisphere. This is the point when the sun crosses the plane of the equator and day and night are the same length across the planet. Earth Mother is pregnant and is birthing once again. Crops can once again be planted. This card features a rendition of Ostara, sometimes spelled those, a Germanic goddess of spring. Astara is also a Northern European name for Astarte, which means womb, and is another name for Venus, the goddess of love, passion, and creativity. The Christian holiday of Easter stems from this goddess, and in this card we see some archetypal symbols of the spring equinox that represent the rebirth of the world, such as rabbits, eggs, and flowers. It is indeed a time for renewal. You thought this passage you have been through would never end, just as certain that the light of the world fades every few months. It makes its return, and the earth rejoices. The fresh breath of spring sweeps away the cobwebs acquired from the absence of light. The light is now obviously increasing as nature begins to emerge in all her forms, shapes, and colors that remind us of the continued cycles of Earth Mother. The cycle of rebirth you are experiencing follows a considerably challenging time. Any tears you may have shed have cleared the way for what has been gestating, which is now ripe and ready to emerge. That which no longer serves you needs to be put to rest so that a freshness and newness of spirit can make itself known to you. Sometimes birth can be painful, particularly in that passage just before delivery. Yet what emerges can be fresh and beautiful. Be with the emergence of this next cycle with faith and grace. Okay, well that was heavy there. So our 3 card, our external influence of which we are aware. Very bright summer solstice card. The word solstice originates from the Latin word solstitum, which means stationary or stopped. This is because twice during the solar year the sun appears to rise and set in the same place for several days. It seems to be taking a much needed rest before making the next circuit across the sky from one solstice to the next. Its ceaseless, predictable certainty having existed since before the time of our ancestors. There are stories in many cultures that personify the sun as a deity, rather male, either male or female, often riding the sun across the sky in a boat or chariot. With the summer solstice comes the culmination of the sun's travels that have led to the longest days of the year. The light is now at its fullest and has provided its own brand of nourishment to the land and all of its inhabitants. Celebrations and ceremonies abound. Passion and playfulness are themes. We feel an innate desire to be outdoors in the natural world and reap the benefits of the longest days of the year. We instinctually seek the light, and during this cycle there is an abundance of it. Let the radiance of the sun inspire your inner radiance to shine forth. Release your concerns about what may happen in the future and focus on appreciating everything you have that is good and right. Allow Father, Son to take away your worries and cares. Do something physically active to stimulate your inner light. Dance and sing. But most important, get outdoors. Do not let any negative thoughts or habits stop you. When you are in love with life, you naturally radiate that love. During this part of your cycle, your capacity to love is greatly amplified. And one of those supreme ironies of life, the more love you give, the more returns to you. It starts by allowing the radiant being you truly are to be expressed into the world. Smile a little more. Notice the beauty of nature. See the humor in the paradoxes of life. Show your love, especially to those with whom you are closest. Then smile even more and watch how the world around you lights up. Well, that's good that we're aware of that. Our 4 card. What is our 4 card? What is required for resolution? What is required? The wake-up call. What? Okay. Oh, man. The wake-up call. That's a neat... I kind of like that card. Looks pretty serious. The wake-up call. One of the scariest and more destructive of natural phenomenon, along with volcanoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, and tornadoes, a tsunami occurs when a large volume of water is suddenly and rapidly displaced. It's triggered by an undersea disturbance, typically an earthquake or volcanic eruption that causes a series of powerful waves to travel across the ocean at speeds up to 500 miles an hour. What? Yet on the open ocean, the height of these waves seems so small that they generally pass unnoticed. As these waves, collectively called a tsunami, get closer to the shoreline, their height increases enormously, even as their speed slows to 50 miles an hour. Okay? The distance between the waves, or their trow, can be considerable, taking 20 to 30 minutes from wave to wave. If the trow hits the land first, the water recedes rapidly, and dramatically, followed within minutes by an enormous wave that initially comes as a surge. This receding is a clear sign of an impending tsunami. We can't outrun the wave that follows, but we can avoid being swept up in the destruction by moving to higher ground. You are getting a wake-up call. It may be in the form of a significant loss or other dramatic event in your life, typically one that you were not prepared for initially. You may feel stunned at first, surprised by the unexpected events that are occurring, yet you also know that it is time to draw back the curtain of avoidance and denial and confront the truth that exists in the subtext of this event. You are experiencing a real-life drama, so there is no need to amplify it more than it already is. Often when you look back after something like this has passed, you can recall signs that foreshadowed it happening. There may have been obvious clues that you ignored or omens that were so subtle they were easy to dismiss as imaginings of the mind rather than the voice of your instinct. There are many anecdotes about animals operating purely on instinct, picking up on clues and naturally seeking higher ground before an approaching tsunami reaches the land. To negotiate this wake-up call, listen closely to your instincts while at the same time seeking the higher ground of spiritual truth. What is required? Well, man, that's... that just makes me like, well... wonder, I mean, is this something I need to do, or I guess okay. Anyway, what's the resolution? Card 5. Waterfall, the effortless. Wow, okay. The resolution. Water naturally flows from higher to lower ground, eventually finding its way to the ocean. One of nature's most exquisite and dynamic demonstrations of this fact is the waterfall. Graceful, powerful, and effortless, she can take our breath away with her cascading beauty. She readily flows around that which may otherwise impede. She's extremely patient, persistent, and skillful in the way she ever so gradually shapes and carves her passageways down the slope of a mountain. Note how the waterfall forms ribbons that accord with the artistry of the stone faces she descends, joining the calmer pool for a rest before she continues her journey. There is no strain or stress in this movement. The water simply follows natural law and the interaction between the formations of the precipice that she traverses and the powerful fluidity and adaptability of her flow, effortless. You have come to the edge of your comfort zone and find yourself fighting to resist moving past that perceived precipice of who you are, how you can be, or what you can do. Spirit is asking you to step beyond the edge and allow yourself to do so with ease rather than struggle. Yes, at times physical exertion is necessary, but when performed with fluidity and grace, even when the task seems daunting, you'll find that the movement moves you effortlessly. Approach the present situation or relationship with awareness and grace. Do not try to make it effortless. That just creates more strain. the key word here is to allow. This is not a time to fight, but to surrender to the will of spirit, even if you're being asked to let go completely and tumble into the brink of creation itself. What? You will find the waters there to be ultimately still and calm. Keep your focus on your solar plexus and your breath, breathing through any tension, relaxing and yielding to the movement that is occurring at any given moment makes your life effortless. Well, what I'm seeing here, like there's a strong message. I especially here with the issue. The issue is allowing, the allowing, but the resolution is the allowing. So, that is, a great message. I think it's saying, like, here's the issue, but the resolution is that we do allow ourselves to go with things, but we may have to go through our wake-up call. Yeah, this is I really like this this deck. I enjoyed this message. So let's see. And what we're unaware of. Let's see. I really liked this part here, this like parallel, because I've heard people talk about, oh, let's see. I think in this Game of Life, or a book I've been reading, Florence Scovel Shinn. I've read. I think she mentions that whole where there's a time where you feel like you're at your worst, but it's just before things come together. And so, but I like this parallel here of the delivery of how things are most difficult right before the birth. Granted, I cannot relate since I do not have I do not give birth. But anyway, but yeah, I liked that. So, and yeah, I guess it's just like a nice reassuring message that you're not aware. We're unaware of perhaps that we are going through a rebirth time, and we'll encounter, or maybe this whole maybe we're going through our wake up call just in a slow pace. And the positive is, we are aware. So we are aware of the great things we have. I feel like, I mean, it's like literally a sun card. So it's good that, I feel like this is all we can do. Like, we can be aware of the things we're grateful for, and all through this rebirth process, that I guess now we're more aware of it, because the card was telling us we're not aware of it, but now we are, I guess. But anyway, so this is a nice message. We and then after after this whole wake-up call, things will be more effortless, will be more, just more in a state, more able to. I realized lately, like how frequent I need to be reminded of, to be, it's almost, it's just almost like constant. Like I need a constant reminder to, because I guess it's I mean, I'm talking about myself here, but I feel like a lot of people deal with this, like how constant our minds just blabber away about whatever, and how easily they just go off in all these directions. So to battle that, we have to have these constant reminders, and like affirmations that things are working out. And another thing that helps me, I saw another video. Her name's Andrea Schulman. I have a link down below. She does videos about like law of attraction and other things, but one blurb that I can't remember the video, but she said that all news is good news, and that probably may like irritate a lot of people. Because I know not all good. I know, there's always exception, but I guess it's just a perspective of, okay, XYZ is happening for whatever reason, and it just helps you to accept it. But I think that was the first time I read this was like years ago, and I probably need to read it again, but it's the Power of Now. He mentioned about, I don't know how to say his name, but he mentions the state of acceptance. And I remember reading that, and I felt a difference when I like had that idea in my head, just to accept something rather than just go back and forth in my head being irritated, because all of that is resistance. And if you just say it, it is what it is, that's whatever reason that's how things are, and just accept it. It is kind of a freeing feeling. So yeah, I feel like the messages here all kind of like bond together, but yeah, hopefully our wake up call is nothing nothing too extravagant, but yeah, perhaps it's what we're having slowly, but our resolution is good. So yeah, really happy with these cards. I don't know, I just get a good vibe from these cards. Yeah, I'll put Jen's link below. I hope you enjoyed this message. Here is a nice portrait of, well, I guess he's Dr. Stephen Farmer. I didn't know that. Yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.